What's up, y'all? Today we're going to talk about the Hall of Fame. Not the controversial voting side of it, but current players that could make the Hall of Fame. So I've picked one player with a backup option, one player that has a chance right now, who plays in the MLB right now, who has a chance to eventually make the Hall of Fame. Are 30 players that are playing right now going to make the Hall of Fame? No, it's very tough to get into the Hall of Fame. It's one of, well, it is the most exclusive club in baseball, and it's only reserved for the best players of all time. So no, a player on Texas right now is not going to make the Hall of Fame, most likely. So we're going to go through it now. I went for guys with young players with potential to make it, and then some old players who maybe have a chance. So we'll start off with Baltimore, and this is a younger guy because he's kind of just breaking in now at a little bit of an older age. Cedric Mullins, great season. He'll have to really keep this up for the next 15 years, probably, if he wants to make the Hall of Fame. Second option would be Matt Harvey. Guy had some great years with the Mets. We move on to Boston. It's Chris Sale. Chris Sale's had an insane prime with the Chicago White Sox. Came over to Boston and was the key. He was the ace for a World Series winning team, so that's cool. And then J.D. Martinez, great hitter in Houston, great hitter in Arizona, and keeps hitting in Boston. Tampa Bay is his next team. It's Juan De Franco. He was the #1 prospect in baseball for 2 years. He's came up and he's been great. He had a 31 game on base streak. Still going, but he's injured right now. Also, Nelson Cruz. Nelson Cruz is probably going to get to the 500 home run club. So that will do wonders for his Hall of Fame voting. New York, it's Aaron Judge. He almost has an MVP. He has a Rookie of the Year in the bag. He should have an MVP. And Garrett Cole. Garrett Cole's been one of the best pitchers in baseball for the past couple years, but he doesn't have a Cy Young in the bag. Toronto, it's Vlad Jr. I mean, he's going to hit 50 home runs this year. He's already has more homers than Vlad. He already has more single-season home runs than Vlad Sr., and he's only 22. So, yeah, watch out for Vlad. And then Bo Bichette has a chance as well. Both of those guys have all the potential in the world. Move on to the AL Central. It's Chicago. Luis Robert and Eloy Jimenez are my two picks. I like Robert a little bit more than Jimenez, but both are just amazing young players in the game right now. For Minnesota, it's Josh Dawson. Had a great career in Toronto, some good years in Oakland, a good year in Atlanta. He's slowing down a bit, but he's still Josh Donaldson. And then also Andrelton Simmons, which is an interesting case because he's one of the best defensive shortstops of all time. Is his defensive war enough to lift him to get on the ballot? Tigers, it's Miggy. He's the first guaranteed Hall of Fame lock on this list. And then Casey Mize, young pitcher with some promise. For the Royals, it's Salvador Perez. He's been one of the best catchers this decade. He's probably like top 3. Him, Posey, and Yadier Molina, I would probably say. I know I'm forgetting someone in there. And then Carlos Santana. Santana had some good years with the Indians. For the Indians, it's Shane Bieber. Bieber has a pitching triple crown in the bag last year. Bit of a Mickey Mouse season, but that's all right. He's going to have to do this for a long time if he wants to make the Hall of Fame. And then also Jose Ramirez, the best third baseman in baseball, at a time where third base is the most stacked than it's ever been. You think about guys like Machado, Chapman, I'm blanking, but Rendon, Bregman, you know what I mean. Move on to Houston and the AL West. It's Zach Greinke. Is Zach Greinke Hall of Famer? I'm not sure. He's had some great years with Kansas, the Dodgers. Now he's definitely gonna be on the ballot. Not sure if he'll get in. And then there's also the Jose Altuve argument, who probably wasn't gonna be Hall of Famer, but now that the cheating stuff came out, he definitely won't be. And then Yordan Alvarez has all the potential in the world. One of the best hitters in baseball already. Oakland, Romo. Romo was the closer on 3 championship-winning teams, him and Brian Wilson. So that will do stuff for your Hall of Fame voting. And he's like damn near 40, still twirling that slider. And then Matt Chapman. Matt Chapman already has, I think, 2 or 3 platinum gloves, and he's already just building on his career. Bit of a down offensive year, though, the past 2 years, actually. Texas was the toughest one. I went Adolis Garcia, who's already young, but at least, I mean, he had a good year this year. And then Leody Taveras, because he has potential, I guess. For LA, it's Mike Trout, another second 100% lock. One of the greatest players of all time. And then Shohei Ohtani, who I think has one of the best potential to make the Hall of Fame now coming off this insane 2021. For Seattle, I got Jared Glennick, tons of potential, and Kyle Seager. You know, like kind of an underrated career, Kyle Seager. Move on to the National League. Going to try and keep this video under 10 minutes. Atlanta, it's Ronald Acuna Jr. He falls into that list with Vladdy, Tatis, Soto. I mean, I would I'm not going to get into that debate right now. That's for another video. Freddie Freeman's another guy where a great career. He has an MVP. But if a guy like Joey Votto isn't going to make it, is Freddie Freeman really going to make it? That's another thing for another video. For the Mets, it's DeGrom. I mean, DeGrom's a tough one. 2 Cy Youngs. If he stayed healthy and won a third, I would really like his chances. But it's tough, man. I mean, you gotta be good for so long, and I think he's already 32, so that's tough. And then Francisco Lindor. Francisco Lindor has been one of the best shortstops this decade. He might actually have a better chance than DeGrom. Miami, it's Jazz Chisholm. I love Jazz Chisholm. I think he's going to be the face of the Miami Marlins franchise for the next couple of years. And then Sandy Alcantara, he's had a really good end of August through September. Ace of that staff. Washington, it's Juan Soto. Once again, he falls in that category of those 4 young guys that I absolutely love. And then Ryan Zimmerman, the best player in Nationals history. Not Expos history, but yes, Ryan Zimmerman is Mr. National. Philadelphia, it's Bryce Harper, a career that people love to talk about. 2015 MVP, and had a couple not so great years. This year he might win MVP. And then Andrew McCutchen, great years in Pittsburgh, but it's probably not a long enough prime to make the actual Hall of Fame. But still, he's Andrew McCutchen. Milwaukee, Christian Yelich. Christian Yelich is a tough case where I'm not sure because, I mean, he has to really turn it around. The past 2 years have not been good, but he has an MVP in the bag. Also, Lorenzo Kane, he was the leadoff hitter on those dominant Kansas City Royal teams. Chicago, it's Jason Hayward. I think he's a guy that might surprisingly be on the ballot when available. He has some really good years in Atlanta, and then won the World Series with the Cubs there. Also, Kyle Hendricks, underrated pitcher. He pitched that Game 7 that the Cubs won. Cincinnati, it's Joey Votto. I think this crazy season for Joey Votto this year, where he's hitting 30 homers, actually will really help his MVP, his Hall of Fame odds. And then Jonathan India, probably the Rookie of the Year, so tons of potential there. St. Louis has a lot of guys that could go to the Hall of Fame. You got Yadier Molina, one of the better catchers this decade. One of the best defensive catchers of all time. Never really had too much of the offense, but we'll see how that case works out. From Arenado, Wainwright, Andrew Miller, John Lester are all potential guys, where with maybe John Lester having the best odds out of that. But him and Wainwright, pretty interchangeable. Pittsburgh, tough one. Brian Reynolds is having a great year. Brian Reynolds now has 2 good years and a bad 2020 in the bag. And Ke'Bryan Hayes has a good, 40 games. So those would be my 2 picks for Pittsburgh. Last division, it's Arizona. Bumgarner is probably is he? I'm not sure if he's a Hall of Famer or not. And then Zach Gallen. I love Zach Gallen. Tons of potential. Dodgers. Pujols, another Hall of Fame lock. Kershaw, it's a lock. Scherzer, it's a lock. Mookie, probably, I mean, if he continues this up, he'll probably make the Hall of Fame. David Price, that's kind of a tough one. And Kenley Jansen, that's kind of a tough one. So, but the Dodgers might have 6 guys on the ballot and 4 Hall of Famers right now. Colorado, Trevor Story, you get it. Herman Marquez, you know what I mean. San Diego, Tatis is going to be a future Hall of Famer. Machado's a tough one, whereas he's one of the best third basemen this decade, and he's still going, so, And then San Francisco, it's Buster Posey, probably going to be a Hall of Famer, but he falls into that case a little bit with Yadi and Salvi. But I think Posey's the best out of that group. Chris Bryant's another tough one. MVP, Rookie of the Year, kind of struggled the past couple years. And then Johnny Cueto. Is Johnny Cueto a guy good enough to be on the ballot? That was the video. I'm going to try and keep this under 9 minutes, so I'm going to wrap this up. And we out. Peace.